ever thought about what it'd be like to be an animal in a rainforest and someone comes and takes you out of it to a place that you don't know anything about and giving someone that you don't know anything about? Has that ever happened to any of you? Raise your hands. A couple of you? Okay. I'm here to tell you about the exotic pet trade and what it is. The exotic pet trade. The definition of an exotic animal is any kind of animal taken from its natural habitat, and put somewhere where it doesn't belong. Like you, Ryan, pretend you were a tiger in Korea or somewhere like that, and you're taken to Nevada. You'd be an exotic animal, kind of like a roadrunner taken to Michigan. Same thing. A wild animal is any animal born free or in captivity that is not used to human contact. Background information. The U.S. is involved in 2/3 of the pet trade in the entire world. China is a close second to that. There's over 167 countries involved in the pet trade currently. Most of the animals in the pet trade come from Brazil, Africa, or Australia. There's other countries, but those are the three main ones. The exotic pet trade is second in the black market, next to illegal drugs. There's over $20 billion in profits every year, and most of the animals that go through the pet trade are reptiles. Statistics: over 78% of all the animals in the pet trade die during capture and transportation due to neglect. Over 80 to 90% die after transportation due to the neglect of owners and harsh conditions. Don't know if you can see very well right here, but this is a map of the United States. Each of the colors here represents some sort of law. States like California, Arizona, and Illinois, they ban most exotic pets, so there's none there. The green ones, like Michigan and Florida and Maine, they ban some exotic pets, but they do allow others. States like Texas and Nevada, there's almost no law on what kind of animal you can have there. And states like Ohio, North and South Carolina, and I think that's Alabama, you can have any pet you want. There's no law anywhere. You can have tigers, you can have pygmy elephant, you can have squirrel monkeys, you can have any kind of dangerous animal you want. It's kind of scary if you think about it, because a couple of years ago, this man let all of his animals out in Ohio. They did kill some people when they were running loose, and the police had to kill almost every one of them before they could take control of the situation. How do the animals suffer? Most of you wouldn't really think an animal could suffer in captivity, but the truth is they can. Parrots are one of the animals that can be hurt the worst. They have their beaks and the claws taped together so they can't move, and they're stuffed into little tubes that's barely even bigger than themselves. Baby turtles are also duct taped into their shells, and you'd be surprised that any of them can live because they basically get no air in their shells. And infant pythons, or any kind of snakes, are stuck inside of CD cases after they take the black holder out, and they're pretty much stuffed into there. Frogs are stuffed into 2-liter bottles. There's hundreds of them in one bottle. They don't have air in there. It's pretty rough for them to live when they're being transferred. place to place. This right here is a monkey, Denise. She, I believe, is a gorilla monkey. Don't know for sure, but that's what I believe. The fuzzy one with the cage on the right is what she should look like if she's in the wild, but she's in captivity with an owner. And if you look at her, you think she was a completely different monkey than what she really is. That's just one of the effects it can have on animals. Proof. The videos I'm about to show you were from 2007. They were taken by an undercover investigator at the U.S. Global Exotics. They were an exotic pet company that sold thousands of animals. There was 26,000 animals at the company when they busted it for the exotic pet trade. Almost all of them died because of neglect. And some of them aren't really nice to watch, but I'm going to show you one about the snakes and the frogs. Maybe the lizards. Now, what's wrong with this snake right here is everyone knows snakes are cold-blooded animals. This snake was confined in a cage or an aquarium without sufficient lighting, and it was wet all the time. It's suffering from contractions, and this is just one of the snakes that had been put down. And again, this was an undercover cop, so he could not do nothing to help the animals. Most of them were stuffed in the little dishes and boxes. Next one I'll show you is the frogs and the toads. That's some of the frogs that were found dead at the company. It's just the bottles that they were found in. The last one I'll show you is the lizards. What comes next isn't really pretty. That right there is over 400 lizards that they killed. So was about 15 different species of lizards there that was found dead. Now most times when someone is found out about trading and selling exotic pets, nothing happens to them because the government doesn't believe the exotic pet trade is important enough to warrant any of their time. If you're caught with an exotic animal, you might get a couple $100s of fines and you'll spend maybe 4 nights in jail. On the other hand, if you're caught with cocaine or something, you can get up to 10 years in prison. So it's not really nice. This is what the exotic pet trade does to animals, and due to the exotic pet trade, we risk the chance of decimating our planet's population of animals. And for what? Why are we doing this? There's no reason we should do this to animals. Scientists say by the year 2100, we will have lost over half of our animal and plant life due to this exotic pet trade.
Okay, good job.
And that's